Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a very frustrating issue that you may have run into before. I have had a problem recently where I'm using Stockfish on a Google Chrome browser on a Mac Mini computer, and it just lags behind. It can't keep up. If you just hold down the button to go through the moves, like it just freezes up for a second and then all of a sudden it moves a whole bunch of moves at one time. If you've had that issue before, then you're going to want to stick around. I'm going to tell you how to fix it. If you never had the problem before, you might want to bookmark this video because you could have it in the future and you'll want to know how to fix it, because it's very frustrating when you're trying to review your games and it's just lagging behind. It's moving really slowly and it isn't as obvious of a fix as you might think. So let's go ahead and just pull up my screen here. So what I'm talking about is, and I can't actually reproduce the issue for you because I've fixed it now, but if you run through all of the moves, it should move really fast like this. I can reverse order and go back. I can sit there and just go back and forth. I can't get it to freeze up. I can even change my settings to 5 lines. And let's see, I'm not logged in right now. Let's change it to 5 lines, maximum time unlimited. And so as you can see here, it's now looking at 5 lines and it's spending as long as it wants on it. And I can still run through and there's no issues, no lagging. What would happen when you did have the issue was that at a certain point you would still be holding down the button and you might hear the noises of pieces moving, but it would be frozen, and then all of a sudden it would like zip all the way through to the end, right? So if you've experienced this issue before and you're frustrated with it, and maybe you've just been trying to deal with it, or maybe you even upgraded your computer and you still have the problem, let me tell you what the problem is. It's not your computer. It's not some setting that you can change inside of Stockfish. You can change all these settings all you want to. It doesn't make a difference until you actually find the real issue. You're just going to have this lag keep coming back. So I discovered this when I was recently doing a review of another game on my channel here, and it would lag behind. Maybe you were watching that. Maybe you saw one of the videos where it was having, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute. I got to wait for Stockfish to catch up. And then it would eventually catch up and I could continue my review. Now, if I'm not making a video, it's not too bad. I would just kind of deal with it. But when I am making a video, it's very frustrating because now you're watching my channel and you're sitting here saying like, what's going on? So anyways, I was like, I got to fix this. So I was trying everything. I uninstalled OBS Studio and reinstalled OBS Studio because I thought maybe the screen share was causing it. While OBS was uninstalled, I was still able to reproduce the lag. I switched over to a different browser in Safari and it wasn't having an issue. And then I switched back to Chrome and it was. And then I switched to a new profile inside of Chrome. And you just go click the little icon up in the top and click Add Chrome Profile. And when you click Add Chrome Profile, you'll have a new fresh one. Or you can actually click on Open Guest Profile. And if you open the guest profile and you just go to an analysis board, which all you gotta do is copy the URL at the top of the screen and open it up. Even if you're not signed in, you can actually go to the analysis board, whether you're signed in or not, and then you can go test it inside of a new fresh profile. And if that fixes the issue, then you're probably experiencing the same problem that I was. There was something left over from my Google Chrome profile, some cache somewhere, that was causing the rendering of the chessboard inside of chess.com analysis, Stockfish analysis, to lag behind. And it wasn't using the GPU at all on my computer. I have an M4 Apple Pro computer with 48 gigs of RAM, and my old computer never had an issue lagging. Excuse me. So it was quite surprising that my new one did. So the solution was to completely delete Google Chrome from my computer and I ran certain commands, and I'm going to put those commands down in the description, to remove all of the stale files left over from Google Chrome. And then I reinstalled Google Chrome and I created a new profile, and I did not sign in and sync my profile. Now, before I did any of this, I actually went ahead and downloaded my bookmarks and I downloaded my passwords. That's the only two things that were important to me. Now, there may be other things that are important to you, and you'll want to do those things. So basically, all you have to do is go to your settings inside of Google Chrome, and there is a bookmark settings. Now, actually, you can just go to Chrome //bookmarks, and it'll take you right to your bookmarks. And up in the top right hand corner, which you can't actually see, so I'm going to make this a little bit wider here so you can see it, and it doesn't matter that you can't see me. Make this full screen for you guys. Hold on just a second. Should have already done this probably before the video, but here we are. All right, here's the full screen so you can see everything. And I'll just turn off my camera there. All right, so here's the bookmarks. If you go to Chrome //bookmarks, then up in the top right hand corner, not the three dots up here for the browser, but the three dots for the bookmark, you can export your bookmarks. When you export those, it'll save it bookmarks _ and then it'll do the date. Just save it somewhere that you can find it. And then you're going to go to passwords, password manager. So Chrome /password manager, and it'll automatically redirect to /passwords, but we're going to go to settings here. So Chrome //password -manager /settings. And then here you can click download a file, and it'll make you type in your Mac password. And if you're on Windows device, it'll probably do the same. And you're just going to save it as Chrome passwords or whatever you want to call it in the same folder. Once you save both of those files, then you completely delete Chrome, and then you're going to run some commands that actually make sure it clears it out, because it does leave stuff behind if you just delete it from your Mac or your computer on Windows. Now, these commands that I'm going to give you are going to work on a Mac. If you have a Windows device, you're going to have to figure out, like, go to AI and ask it, like, what are the equivalent commands for, deleting these files on a Windows computer. But if you're on a Mac, then you just run the files that I have down, or run the commands that I have down in the description. And once you do that, it's going to completely clear out Google Chrome. And then you'll come back in and you can import your passwords, doing the exact opposite process. Instead of exporting, you're going to click select file, find that file that you downloaded, and your passwords will be back. And then when you go to the bookmarks, you're going to click the three dots up in the corner, and you're going to click import bookmarks, find the file that you downloaded, and it'll actually import all of your bookmarks. Okay, and then once you do that, you can go back to chess.com and open up an analysis board and run through, and you should be good. Now from here, if you want to sign in to Chrome, you can. Just keep in mind that if you have sync turned on, whatever was causing your issue before might sync back to your computer. So I decided, for now anyways, that I don't need to sign into Chrome, because the only two things that I cared about was my bookmarks and my passwords. That's it. Like, everything else that Chrome is wanting to sync up, I didn't really care about. So at least not for now. So now I've got my bookmarks back, I got my passwords back. I can sign in automatically to chess.com without that's my old one of my other accounts. Log in, and I'm signed in now. And actually, once you sign in, it'll actually, if you have a Diamond membership, it'll actually use the Cloud Chess engine as well. There's two of them. and that'll help it go even smoother. And so that was what was very confusing to me, is that I was like, wait a minute, I'm a Diamond member, I'm using cloud analysis, and I have a very somewhat powerful Mac mini computer running this. Why is there any lag? And as you can see, hopefully that noise isn't way louder than my microphone. I can't tell. Probably is. You probably couldn't even hear anything I was saying over that. Probably sounds like a machine gun going off. But as you can see, there's no lag now. I can run all the way through and all the way back, and there's no lag. And so hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this helps somebody, because I was sitting here like, what is going on? I have a new computer. I have a Diamond account. Like, I should be using Cloud Review as well. So it's offloading some of the analysis to chess.com servers. Why is there any lag at all? And I finally fixed it by just creating a new Google Chrome profile. So an easy test to make sure that this is actually the same issue is to open up a different browser that you don't have any kind of that you don't ever use. Like, for example, I never use Safari on my Mac. So there was nothing cached. There was nothing, right? It was just, it's like probably the first time I think I used it to download Chrome. Actually, I don't even think I did, because when I set up this new Mac, it imported Chrome from my old computer, and I think that's where the issue came from. So if you want to test it, open up Safari, open up Firefox, open up some other browser, and run through an analysis and see if it lags. And if it doesn't, if you go back to Chrome and it's still lagging, then this is probably what you need to do. You need to create a new. Now, you could go through and try to figure out exactly what's wrong with your profile, and I did go down that rabbit trail for a while, and after some time, with AI walking me through some things to check, I deleted caches, I deleted all these things. The lag was getting better, but it was still there. So ultimately, I decided, you know what? Let's start with a fresh, clean slate. Let's get rid of everything. Maybe it was an old extension that I was using. Maybe it was some sort of cache file that I couldn't find, or whatever. So you could go down that path of trying to figure out exactly what it is, but the first step is determining, is this a Google profile issue? And you can easily do that by either opening up a guest profile, running through an analysis, or opening up Safari and running through an analysis. And at that point, if it's not lagging at all, then you know what to do. Delete your Google profile, but save your bookmarks and your passwords and anything else that might be important to you. Only you know what that is. So don't come to me and be like, I lost whatever because I deleted this. Like, back everything up before you do it. Don't do anything that, is going to lose information that's valuable to you. And so you're responsible for that, making sure you don't lose anything. I'm just telling you what I did to fix it on my computer, and all I cared about was bookmarks and passwords. Anything else I was fine with losing. If you need to save anything else, make sure you save that first. And you can always back up everything inside the Google Chrome application files somewhere else first and then delete it, so that you could always go back to where you were. I hope this helps, and I know we didn't play a chess game today. We didn't actually really review a game, unless you could keep up with me just now when I was running through this game that I lost. But hopefully this helps somebody who is experiencing the same frustrating issue that I had, and we'll see you on the next video.